You're on, Jose.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, all you sexy beasts of Nerdtube and the YouTube stream. We are here to break down WWE WrestleMania 41 live in Sin City, the adult entertainment capital of the world, Las Vegas. And with me today is my panel, Zamario, old school throwback wrestling fan 77777, Cousin Cheeto, and Gaz is all up in this bitch. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's break it down. First off, how are we feeling about WrestleMania? Are we excited? Are we looking forward to it? Me personally, this looks okay.
I'll say this very quickly. Very quickly.
Yep.
There was a WrestleMania once where the guy who plays the guitar and they had Shinsuke, they were a tag team. Remember that one?
Rick
What
Boogs,
WrestleMania
yeah.
that was? Yeah. That WrestleMania had no real good build up or whatever, but it was a great WrestleMania regardless. You know?
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say is that sometimes the WrestleMania might not necessarily have the good build, but if it ends up being a good watch, that's all that really matters at the end of the day.
Yeah, I'd have to say as far as builds go, this is one of the worst builds I've seen for a WrestleMania pretty much ever. It's like top 5, and besides the main events, nothing about this feels like WrestleMania to me. But if anyone has anything to add onto that before we start breaking down the card, go ahead and add your thoughts.
I'm more excited about the talent on this card rather than the build. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of my bread and butter is where I'm like, how do the matches look? You know, I've got a couple matches and I'm really like excited to see. But yeah, the like Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre, the build's been crap, but I'm excited for the match, and that's just an example of one of them. You know, like so. I think they were both good workers, but I just think, the build has been awful. I'm hoping this will be a sleeper horse WrestleMania that just is really good, you know, a really good show, but the build is just bleh.
Yep. All right. Anyone else got anything to add before I start breaking down the card?
Yeah, I mean, like, with that, I agree with you, Jose, that this has been an all-time terrible build. I mean, even the main events haven't really had that strong a build. I mean, Cena's heel turn should feel special, and he's not there every week. I mean, I know he's probably like filming some series or filming a film, but he should be there as like a constant presence, and people should be aware of him. And he should interact with people.
And this is the problem that I foresaw when Cena won the Elimination Chamber. Like when Cena, I'm like, great, now we got a celebrity, and let's be real, Cena's a celebrity wrestler. He's not a wrestler anymore. Like, you know, his week in and week out is like, he has like 50 some dates for the year, but he's on like Raw and SmackDown. So it's like sometimes. So he's not going to be on every show, you know, so that's why I hate these celebrity people coming in who aren't like committed to like doing a full year of actual like on the road. So yeah, I knew this was going to happen, and that's why I think this is because they just left Cody out there to build the match basically on his own. John Cena comes out and tries to attempt his best imitation of Crybaby Jericho and is failing. It's just it's awful. Anyway,
that's a pretty accurate way to put it. But all right, let's go ahead and break it down. We're going to go by Wikipedia, so we're going to start with Gunther versus Jey Uso as a singles match for the World Heavyweight Championship. And I know the angle that they're going for here. Wrestler A cannot beat Wrestler B. They've pretty much done this angle where every time Jey Uso's gotten in the ring with Gunther with the title on the line, he's gotten his ass kicked. And now it's, Jey can't win the big one. So I think what they've got to do here is they have to have Jey win the world title here, because if you don't, what was the point of him winning the Royal Rumble, and why should we care about this guy after he gets his ass kicked so many times? So my prediction is that Jey Uso is going to win the World Heavyweight Championship, although his reign will probably only last about 4 months. What say you, Cheeto or Zam, or anyone want to chime in?
I mean, I got my thoughts on this already. If you guys want me to go,
go for it.
DH, you just pass it off to whoever you want to go first.
Okay, Cheeto, you want to go? Yeah,
all
go
right.
ahead.
So, for me, I actually think this is a good matchup. Yeah, and the build's been okay. Jey is over like an MFer. Like, he is really over. And, like, I mean, I know that people want to discount that because, you know, we got a lot of, like, DEI, like, or, DEI, like, people that are just like, they got to get the colored guy to win the Rumble. It's like, come on. Like, this is, why are we doing it? So I think it'll be decent match. My problem is Jey Uso's never really impressed me in the ring per se. Gunther's always impressed me, so I'm hoping Gunther can pull Jay up to that like excellent status, and we get like a 4 or 5 star match out of it.
That's a good way. Yeah, he keeps popping in and out. Dude, if you keep popping in and out, man, you could just join us through the chat because your connection's obviously not holding up.
I think so. Yeah.
Zam, you want to go?
Yeah, it's a bit weird with Gunter. Like, he either has a really good quality match, or it can be kind of boring at times. You know, so I'm hoping it's obviously a good quality match. I'm expecting that, and usually they tend to be really good when it's a brawl. When Gunter's brawling. Yeah, it can be really good fun, you know, and I'm hoping we kind of get that. But then again, Jey Uso is not necessarily a brawler. He's more of a fast pace with some high flying moves and some, a little bit of acrobatics, some kicks and stuff like that. You know, so we'll just hope. Look, I do think Jey Uso is going to win it. You know, it's obviously typical WWE storytelling. And I do hope he does win it. You know, I genuinely want him to win it. So we'll see where it goes. And we'll see what he's like as a champion. And yeah, he'll probably hold it till SummerSlam.
Yep. All right, Block.
All right, just so Gary knows, the gimmick of bad internet connections already taken by me.
I just said that in our chat. I said your internet reliability is worse than the Blocks.
But as far as the match, let's hope it's better than Jimmy and Jay of last year's super kick. I mean, obviously Gunther's not going to do a bunch of super kicks, but the build got a lot better when Jay got serious and they, involved his brother and got the blood. And because before that, it was just, yeeting, and Gunther was kind of like an afterthought. Yeah, my prediction is Jay's going to win. Gunther's been a solid wrestler, but the whole gimmick of like last year he went into WrestleMania and they were like, well, Zayn can't beat Gunther because he's so good. And so that's kind of like, I don't know, that kind of like shows your hand where they're like, there's no way he could beat him. You're kind of saying, yeah, he's going to beat him.
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. They book Gunther good, but at the same time not good because they always have him in these weird feuds, and then like he won't defend the title for a real long time. He doesn't feel like a champ.
No, he feels like Roman Reigns is what he feels like sometimes.
Yeah. All right, read some comments here. Ginger, where the hell are you, by the way? You talking about this stream sucks? Where the hell are you? We could use your thoughts here as well, pal. And then Gaz says that
he's doing one of the DMs.
Oh, okay.
He said that doesn't work for me, brother, and he fucked off.
Yeah, Gaz says that Jay's over with the crowd, and if he wins, the crowd will come with him as champion. Okay, so yeah, I think we all predict that.
I think they're thinking as well. Like Jay wins, merchandise sales are going to go through the roof.
Yep,
and that is probably why he'll fucking win, if anything. You know what I mean?
Yeet.
So,
yeet.
Yeah.
All right, and then we've got the tag team match player for the World Tag Team Championships, the War Raiders versus the New Day for the World Tag Team titles. This is one of those matches where I think it's going to be a good match, but once again, this is a problem with the Triple H era, is that the build just feels so fucking flat, and it's like I really don't care. I hate to say it, but the New Days as heels just aren't working for me. It's just, it started off good, but it's the same shit with them.
WO not too long ago. Now the War Raiders, like, if I could just start off with this one,
go ahead.
I think that like the New Day are going to win this. I think it's because for a start, I love seeing Kofi Kingston as a heel. By the way, that is something I never thought I would ever see. I thought it would be a babyface for most of his career. So to see him as a proper heel now is great. And considering the New Day are an interesting couple, I think there's more. The belts will be better off with them, and then they can brag about it and get more heat. The heat they are getting, they deserve the fucking belts on that heat alone. So yeah, they're gonna win. In my opinion.
I'm going with New Day as well, just to make it short and sweet. Cheeto.
This is another one of the matches, and I'm more interested in the title, the match, than the build. I agree. Like the New Day, I've actually enjoyed the new. Now, keep in mind, I haven't watched wrestling a lot in the past decade. So take it for what it's worth from me, but I'm like, I actually like this New Day heel turn. I think they've turned heel before, haven't
They
they?
did. They
the
started as
beginning.
heels when they came in. Yeah.
Okay.
Together.
So I really feel like I really enjoy it. And honestly, I enjoy the War Raiders. I like the War Raiders. They're just not great on the mic.
Yeah.
They're not a huge draw. So it's like, I think this match will be really good. But yeah, I agree with like the build's been crappy. And honestly, it's just going to be a good match on the card.
Yeah. All right. Block.
And I'm sorry. And
No, go ahead.
New Day, I believe, is going over.
Yeah. All right. Block.
All right. First off, we all know if that curmudgeon was still in charge, we'd have Vikings versus Pirates in a tag team match. So thank goodness that old guy's gone. I can actually see the War Raiders winning because I think Big E might, I don't know, pull out a ref. I don't think he can wrestle or do anything, but it feels wasted if like Big E never does anything again, and the New Day keep, the whole turn. So maybe he might do something, even just have his music hit and it distracts
he's
him.
around. Like
but I'm actually
he's
going
still
for
with
the War
company.
Raiders.
He could just come out and like distract them, and like I don't know if he can't take any bumps. I know that he's almost been cleared to come back. Like, isn't that the rumor? So it's like maybe they're just waiting for him to come back. Like now, like he might get involved this weekend.
Oh no, actually, sorry, you got me thinking. I mean, I still think the New Day are going to win, but regarding Big E, he could come back and then he could still align himself with the New Day, and that they take him back in.
But why?
No, because he does something for them. Because the New Day are the heels, so he does a heel move, like look, there's New Day, he's gonna save the fucking War Raiders, but no, he turns he turns his back on the War Raiders and he fucks them over to let the New Day win, and so when Big E comes in, it's like, so that sort of twist, I could see that happening,
Yeah, it'd be unpredictable.
Yeah.
It'd be a good way to go. All right, and
Yeah.
Gary says that yes, New Day as heels aren't great, but they've got good heat. War Raiders are a great powerhouse.
That's what makes them
I
good.
don't get that.
That doesn't make no sense. They're not great as heels, but they got good heat.
That's like Vince Russo.
I
Yeah.
don't understand this mindset of like they're not that great. I'm like, I love them as heels. I think they're great as heels.
Yeah.
They got heat.
Especially
Dominic Mysterio. Yeah.
Xavier.
Yep. All right,
Xavier,
and
I like Xavier. Xavier's hilarious.
Yeah, Xavier is good. Like their stuff on Twitter has been fucking fantastic.
And when he retires, he'll be a great manager.
And you know me, as a white guy here, I love seeing all the black folk, portrayed as bad guys. That's how.
Fuck yeah. All right, and then the match that I feel so sorry for Chad Gable for, Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano. Man, Chad Gable, he got robbed, man. Chad Gable should be on this card. What the hell, WWE? You got a gold mine in Chad Gable, and then you put him in with this fuck. You put Rey Mysterio in with this newbie. Why is he here? Why couldn't we have Rey Mysterio versus Chad Gable, damn it? I'm pissed about this matchup. Having said that, though, I'm just going to make it short and sweet and start with Block this time. El Grande Americano's winning this match. Dude's been getting really good heel heat. Chad Gable, once again, is getting snubbed. But, yeah, this El Grande Americano Starbucks gimmick is working out great for this guy, whoever he is. And, Block, I'm going to start with you this time.
I'll go with the same pick. I mean, who cares about Rey Mysterio? Let's Mr. Americano or whatever. He's like a genuine luchador, and I wish people would stop saying he's not. Look, this is going to be like watching AAA or Lucha Libre Underground or something. This is going to be like mind-boggling. This is going to be better than Sin Cara versus another Sin Cara.
Yep. All right, Cheeto, what say you?
I think I like this match. I just think both Grande Americano, whatever his name is, I think he's a very talented wrestler, aka Chad Gable. I think
that is not Chad Gable.
There has been photographic proof that actually it might be Vince McMahon.
Oh,
yeah, Vince makes his return at WrestleMania. But Rey Mysterio's always been giving good matches. I'm surprised, like when I started watching again last year, I'm very surprised that he started like he's doing as well as he is. And I mean, I
He's
know it's all the
50,
stem
man.
cell treatments and stuff like that, but I'm like, holy crap, this guy's like 40. His knees have been shot to crap.
50. He's 50
50
years
now.
old.
He's 50, yeah. And his knees have been shot to crap, and he's still bouncing around the ring. Like, maybe not as much as he used to, but like he's still doing the luchador thing. It's nuts.
Yeah.
So
He's been wrestling since he was a teenager. Yeah, he's
I think they might put Ray over just because it's Mania, and Ray's kind of like almost the untouchable face. I know he loses sometimes, but like on the grandest stage, like I think that because what they'll probably do is Ray will probably rip the mask off, and then he'll cover his face, and then he'll do the roll up and get the pin or something stupid like that.
Yep.
So, but I mean, I think Ray will go over, but I'm sorry, Grande Americana or whatever, Lucha Americana, whatever his name is. I think he's a great up and coming megastar in my opinion.
Hell yeah! All right, Zam.
Actually, I think this one's a bit tougher to call than people realize, because you think to yourself, okay, obviously El Grande's got to go over. Like, someone like Rey Mysterio has served his dues, and Rey Mysterio is in that Chris Jericho bracket where it doesn't matter how many times he'll lose, he'll always still be a top draw. People always cheer him and stuff like that. He's never going to be somebody you would think is like is on a lower card, so to speak. The guy's a legend. At the same time, I can still see the WWE doing the wrong move and putting Rey Mysterio over because they do stuff like this. They do stuff like this,
and that's what I mean.
Yeah.
I like that. That's my thought. Is WWE will put him over. I don't think Ray will have a problem putting
Ray lie down for anybody. Yeah. Ray will lie down for anybody. He knows, he places to put talent over now. So I'm finding this one a tough call. It is mainly. I mean, look, Rey Mysterio should have lost to Dominic at WrestleMania, and he didn't. That was a shock to me. I really thought he would put his son over, but he didn't. He did eventually lose to him. I'm gonna go. Oh God, this is a real tough one. I'm gonna go with Rey Mysterio on this one. And for me, that's the long shot. Not the. I'm going with the long shot on Rey Mysterio on this one.
Yep.
It should be Ted Gable. It should be El Grande, but I'm gonna go with Rey Mysterio.
Yep. And then Gary says Golf of America. LWO is a great WCW gimmick. He loves that WWE brought it back. And Ray's giving back by putting people over. Yeah, fair. Okay. And then one of the better builds, Jade Cargill versus Naomi. Basically, they kind of did it like the Rikishi. I did it for the Rock angle. Naomi attacked Jade a few months ago, laid Jade out. And I'm thinking Jade should be out to like just absolutely wreck Naomi and make this a squash match. But this is WWE. I wouldn't be surprised if they have Naomi go over, and I wouldn't be mad about that. I wouldn't be mad either way, whoever wins this match, but I'm going to go ahead and say Naomi, and I'm going to start with Cheeto on this one.
So I don't think this should be a squash match. I think this should be like, they've really like with a lot of her like wrestling attire imagery, they've been doing a lot of like Owen Hart stuff, like, with the caution tape and stuff.
Yeah.
I think they're really like building her up, like Naomi up. She's a brand new heel, and it's a good build. And I really think they might put Naomi over now, not clean. I think there's going to be shenanigans. But I think Naomi's going to go over Jade in the end because of either cheating or somebody interfering, or, I can't see Bianca Belair going heel to join Naomi. But like, I hope it's not a squash match. They've said that this is one of the first women matches on a WrestleMania card that has not been for the title in a long time. And I'm like, I want this to be good. I don't want it to be a squash match.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, give these women the time to shine. And we know Jade's greatly improved over the past year that I've seen.
Yeah.
And Naomi's always been pretty good from what I've seen. So I'm like, I let these two cook. You know what I mean? Like, let them do it. And by the way, that's very appropriate for your Rikishi comment, because Rikishi and Naomi they're wearing the same type of underwear.
Yep.
But there's only one stink face I would want, and it wouldn't be from Rikishi. Let's be honest. You know what I mean?
Yep. All right, Sam, we'll go ahead and take it.
I'm actually thinking this will be a squash match, which is what annoys me, because they always do shit like this to Naomi, and Naomi is actually a terrific wrestler. She's been around for 15 years. And I think she's a lot better than people give her credit for. But they kind of use her like Natalia Neidhart at times just to put people over. But I think because she's like 37, 38 now, she's at that stage of her career. But regardless, I do think this will be a squash. And I think Jade's going to come out quite strong in this, in my opinion. I don't want it to be a squash, but I know how WWE treats people like Naomi, and they're going to make her basically put her out to pasture for somebody like Jade. Squash match, Jade wins.
Yep. All right, Block.
I'm going to echo kind of what Zam said with Black Natty. Yeah, she had her few moments, a few WrestleManias back where she won the belt, and then she just kind of comes in and out. I know she's got injured before, but they don't really utilize her when she's on TV, except this last year or two. I'm hoping it's not a squash, somewhat competitive, even if it's a short match. It'd be interesting if there was some like blood or something too. I don't know if they want to do that, but for a women's match, that'd be crazy. Like really make it invested. But I'm hoping for a somewhat decent match, even if it's short. I see maybe I'm gonna go with Naomi winning, but probably like a quick roll up or something, like barely kind of win.
Wins by the skin of her teeth. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking too.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think it's going to be clean. If Naomi wins, I don't think it's going to be clean because she's a brand new heel. They want to build that. Like if they want to build it now, maybe Zam's right, and maybe like they're just using her to elevate Jade. But it's like, so they've done all this build, like they've done all this build for Naomi. And, you know, Naomi's been doing good, and Jade's been doing good too. But it's just like, yeah. So what they're going to do is they're going to elevate Jade, and then Naomi's just going to fall off again. And that's just that's the shitty part of this, is that they could and most likely will go that way.
Yeah, that's something that we don't want to happen, but this is WWE. So, yeah, okay. And then LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu for the United States title. I'm going to make this one short and sweet. Jacob has got to win this. Jacob has to win it. That dude has it. He can talk. He can work. That guy, if he's not world champion in a couple of years, WWE don't know what the fuck they're doing. He is fucking great. And I'm going to start with Block on this one.
And I love his little shake he does, but yeah, I'd echo that.
Boogeyman.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, LA Knight is, you know what, over 40 anyways. He's popular. He'll be fine if he loses and whatever. He's it'll be a short match, but I guess kind of fun or whatever. I'm gonna go with
all right. Cheeto.
I'm gonna go. I like LA Knight, and I know he's older. He's 40, but at the same time, I agree with you guys that Jacob Fatu really needs to go over. They've been doing a really good job building him. I mean, like this is crazy. The build, like they built Solo Sikoa so hard, and like just for them now to flip the script on Jacob Fatu, I'm like, and I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it. Jacob Fatu is obviously more compelling than Solo Sikoa is, but still, it's like. Yeah, I think I think Jacob Fatu needs to go over in this one more than LA Knight does.
All right, Zam.
I think the lesson regarding Solo and even people like Chad, it's not Chad Gable, Austin Theory is only beat Cena when it really fucking matters. Because if you don't, it's like a kiss of fucking death. I also think Jacob Fatu is going to win this, but I think this is to the benefit of LA Knight because he needs to start challenging for the world title, in my opinion.
Yes.
Yeah,
sorry, that was my other point I was going to bring up. Yes.
Yeah. So you lose it to Jacob Fatu and then focus on bigger things.
Okay, I can see that. And then this one's a weird one: Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair for the women's championship. This is the one I don't know how to call it because it's like they both have gone off script in this build-up. They both have taken personal shots at each other, and people are like, oh my God, I don't want Charlotte to win, but then they don't really care for Tiffany Stratton either. So this one's kind of out of my hands, and I don't know how to call it. It's weird. But if I've got to pick, I hate to say it, but Tiffy time may be over. I think Charlotte gets her title because they're going to want Charlotte to try to break her dad's record. I think that's the route that they go with this. And Zam, I'll start with you on this one.
I'm a bit worried that politics might play a part in this match regarding Tiffany. If Charlotte does get her way, if she's holds that much clout within the industry that she can get her way, but then again, at the same time, I rate Charlotte Flair. I really do. I think she's one of the best women wrestlers of all time, and I do mean of all time. At the same time, I think she's at a period of her career now where it shouldn't be about her. I like Tiffany Stratton a lot. I think she's brilliant. I've actually learned I liked her as a heel, and even though she never really had a face change, I do like her as a face as well. And the sort of shit she said about Charlotte is brilliant, because then I'm thinking, well, this girl knows how to go there and everything. I like her a lot, and I think she will have a tremendous career within the industry. She's only 25. She's got a good 10, 12, 15 years ahead of her. So I hope she does win. So I'm hoping that she wins, but I wouldn't put it past the WWE to let Charlotte win. But I want Tiffany Stratton to win, so I'm going with Stratton.
All right, Block, I'll go to you next.
It's Tiffy time. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Tiffy. Like Charlotte Flair, she's athletic and stuff, but I never seek out her matches. Like I don't find her enjoyable to watch as a personality. As far as what's presented on TV, whether she's a heel or a babyface, it's not like something I seek out either. She's just, I feel Tiffany does the heel better than Charlotte. I don't know why she's face, but probably because she's going against Charlotte. Tiffy's kind of like Charlotte, but just more, I don't know, get behind. You can get behind her more. I don't know. Yep, going with Tiffy, and this should be a good match.
All right, Cheeto.
This one's very interesting because of the real life stuff, because Tiffany Stratton does not like Charlotte Flair in real life, and Charlotte Flair does not like Charlotte Flair basically assumed she was going to walk in and walk all over Tiffany Stratton. And like some people are saying that Tiffany Stratton could be the next CM Punk on the mic if she get, like, not right now, but like if she kind of keeps honing her craft, because Zam's right, she's 25.
Yeah.
Like she is for how she's only been doing this 3 years. For how green she has got as long as she sticks with it and does well, like, you know, on the mic and improving her wrestling, you know, wrestling ring acumen, I think she's got, you know, so in regards to this match, I want Tiffany Stratton to go over. I think after the whole debacle with the interviews where Charlotte keeps going off script, I think it's going to be politics, but in the opposite way. Like I know that Zam was saying, like politics, like Charlotte's going to politic her way. I think the WWE is going to be like, well, you were going to win this, but since you kept going off script and Tiffany owned you, we're going to keep the belt on her. I think all of this is not going in Charlotte's favor.
Yeah. Here's an interesting question though. Do we think this could be potentially the downfall of Charlotte Flair? Because, you know, Charlotte is in her late 30s now, so it makes you wonder.
It could be anything, to tell you the truth. Because of her clout, you know, WWE could do the stupid thing and punish Tiffany, and that's the sort of thing that they would do. Even though they have a gem in Tiffany, she is the future. You know, she should be the one who you back. Not Charlotte. Charlotte's had her time in the sun. Mm-hmm. She should be putting people over. That's where she is in my career. She should, yeah.
I say, and just because she doesn't win here doesn't mean she can't win down the road. You know what I mean? Like,
right?
I mean, she's in her she's in her late 30s or whatever. Like
38, I think.
That's not super old. Like we have Undertaker, Rey Mysterio, guys. Like Undertaker was into his 50s when he was starting to wrestle or ending his wrestling career. Rey Mysterio's still wrestling at 50. You know, like I don't honestly feel like Charlotte's career will be over anytime soon, as long as she actually plays nice. If she gets into the politics of it, she's going to be like Hogan. She's going to ostracize herself from everybody because the political environment is so much different than it was back in the 80s and 90s when you could politic and get away with it. Now, people don't put up with that shit anymore.
Yeah, Naomi's a similar age, and I think Neidhart's older. Neidhart's in her 40s. You know, so yeah, like there are wrestlers who are, you know, like Bianca Belair's not that much younger than them. She's in like 35.
Yep.
You know, which is hard to believe. She looks amazing for 35. So yeah, but Tiffany's the future. They should. I mean, I think she's very popular personally. I think she's really over with the fans.
Oh, I think she's super over. She's kind of like the Stone Cold Steve Austin, where it's like they kept on trying to push her as a heel, but the Charlotte Flair thing just propelled her into face.
Yeah,
and they're just like, well, just like Stone Cold, they're like, well, we just got to lean into it. So I'm all for it. Again, I don't particularly love her as a face. I like her more as a heel, but at the same time, I'm like, whatever gets her over. You know, like
Yeah.
I think she's talented.
If it works, it works, and there goes the
A,
bird on
fa-
Sam's head.
a face with attitude, which is what I like about her. You
Yeah.
know.
All right, Block.
So, yeah.
Anything to add before I go to the main event of night one? Okay.
Nope.
All right, the main event of night one for the first time ever. CM Punk is main eventing a WrestleMania. Roman
Ooh.
Reigns versus CM Punk with Paul Heyman versus Seth Rollins in a triple threat match, which will lead to absolutely nothing because this is all about Paul Heyman and who he will align with.
The prize is Paul Heyman.
Yep.
Paul Heyman on a pole match.
Yeah, bro. This is peak, bro. If there was ever a time to bring bro back, this would be it. This match is
Oh my
now.
God.
Bring the forklift
Yeah,
out.
bring the forklift with
out.
Paul
Paul
Heyman
Heyman
on
on a
it.
forklift.
Yep. But
They put him
overall,
in the shark cage. You know what they
Yep.
did with Dominic. Yeah,
Yeah.
put him in that.
but overall, I don't give a shit who Heyman is going to align with because you got these three guys. Roman's mic work has improved. CM Punk could always talk on the mic. Seth could always talk on the mic. So Heyman, to me, is not really needed for these three guys anymore, but it's all going to center around him. And my prediction is I think Seth Rollins is going to be the one that wins this match, and I think he's going heel. I think he's been kind of dancing with it for a little bit, and he's been kind of teasing with it for a bit. He's been wanting to curb stomp Roman. He curb stomped CM Punk. So Seth Rollins is going to be my pick. And with this one, I'm going to go ahead and kick it off to Cheeto.
Can I
go ahead,
go
Sam.
next on this
Yeah,
one? But I'm bursting at the seams on this one.
Go ahead. Yep.
I think this thing about heel and stuff like that with these particular guys, I think is there isn't really a face and heel thing. The fans are going to align themselves with who they like, and because these guys have been around for a long time. There's been very heelish moments from Seth Rollins already, you know, and you know people like even Randy Orton. He's a face, so to speak. Yeah, he was talking about how he would go after Mickey James when he came to Rick Aldis, you know. So Nick Aldis or Rick, I forget anyway. Regardless, you know, and even Roman Reigns, he's done very heelish things, and he's supposed to come back as a babyface. He's done very heelish things, but the fans are still aligned to them. So I think finally we're at this age of tweenerism now, you know, where these guys are very grey as characters. So it's not really about face and heel turns. I think it doesn't. You know, they'll backstab you and still be popular with the fans, you know, and all of these sort of things, yeah, because they are so over with the fans for just being great wrestlers. But regarding who wins this is probably the toughest one to call. Look, the way I do feel Seth Rollins is almost felt like the third party in this, to a degree. In a way, that should make him win it. Because I think people are looking at him as the guy who will get pinned at the end of this, but by either Roman or CM Punk. But in a way, I want Seth Rollins to win because he's the least likely to win it. So, but I'm not going to bank on that. I'm going to go with CM Punk.
Okay, Cheeto.
I agree with Zam. I want Seth Rollins to win. I want Seth Rollins to turn heel, and I want Paul Heyman to align himself with Seth Rollins. You know,
that would be great.
But because you're right. Like none of these three need Paul Heyman as like the mouth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Paul Heyman though has become more of this championship belt. Like everyone's like, there's no championship on the line. I'm like, the Paul Heyman championship is on the line. Like,
yep.
You know, like it's the most prestigious at this WrestleMania. I am excited about this match. I think these three are great. Because my thought was I was honestly thinking, I'm like, they really should have put the world title in this match because it's like, it's not that they need the belt to elevate the match. The belt needs the match to elevate the belt.
Yeah.
Like that's why I'm like the world title should be there because truth be told, I think Jay and Gunther is going to be good, but like this is kind of your match where it's like you need the world title in. I do like it that it's not in there only because again, it's like these guys have been selling this whole thing really well. I know Seth and CM Punk have actual beef. They're being professional about it, like, you know, because business is business, but I don't know. They're really doing it. And Roman Reigns is just there to collect his paycheck and go home after WrestleMania. So I could see, I could definitely, I think CM Punk's going to go over because the only way I could see Seth Rollins going over is because CM Punk technically beat CM Punk beat Seth Rollins on the first Netflix, night.
Raw
or whatever.
episode, yeah.
Yeah, the first Raw on
Yeah.
Netflix. Like, so that, but then again, then you had the cage match, and like
Yeah.
technically Rollins won that. So this is kind of what the strap match or whatever it's called. So I just think
The rubber
Roman Reigns
match.
is going to be an afterthought in this match. I really do. Like
Roman Reigns
Yeah.
is the afterthought.
I think Roman Reigns is the afterthought because everyone wants to see Seth and Punk. I think they
Yeah.
had nothing for Rollins to do, so they're like, well, or not Rollins,
Reigns. Yeah.
I think they're like, well, let's stick Reigns in this match because obviously Seth has beef with Roman, and then you get the Paul Heyman thing with CM Punk, and it just made sense. But I think Roman Reigns as a person, like the character, is an afterthought in this match. I really do.
I think if anything, Roman's going to be the one that takes the pin in this match because it all goes back to when the Shield broke up. And, Rollins will take another opportunity to stab Roman like he did 10 years ago at WrestleMania 31. So I think history could repeat itself.
Sorry, before you pass on to Block, if I could just also add, I do agree, actually, come to think of it, Roman Reigns is the one who should get pinned, considering Rollins and CM Punk are going to be on the TV day in, day out. Roman should get pinned. At the same time, I also think you can have Paul Heyman running around, circling, crying 1 minute, and fucking cheerleading the next. That's gonna be something that's going to be the story and emotional.
The existential crisis is going to be the thing that makes this fucking match. It's like Heyman's like, "Yay! Oh no, wait! Oh yay!" And then that's how it's going to go.
Yeah. And I do think you'll line. I think there might be a backstabbing moment with him on somebody, but I disagree with Cheat on one particular. I just don't think there's a heel turn. I just don't think these guys can turn heel or face. They are what they are. That's what I'm thinking. What I think.
I mean, you're right about the whole like tweener phase. Like Seth has done some heel things in the crowd, and every time these people come out, they're cheering, they're chanting CM Punk, they're whoa-woing or whatever for Seth Rollins, no matter what they do. I mean, I agree with you. I really feel like, but I meant more of like the intention of a heel turn. Like the crowd really won't turn on them, and I know that, but I'm like, I think his mannerisms, like I think Seth Rollins' mannerisms will turn more heelish.
And when you stop to think about it, Heyman is just a smarmy heel anyway. So that's just why I say that. Like, I think that's why you're going to see a heel turn because let's be honest, Paul Heyman as a babyface, it doesn't really work. I mean, in the original ECW, it worked because that was his company, but it never really worked otherwise, seeing Heyman as a babyface. But okay, Block, go ahead and take it.
I don't know who's going to out-tween themselves in this match. It's going to be, inside the ring, outside the ring, lots of stuff going on. I don't know if they're going to have anybody from the old bloodline or something show up. And you always got the final boss, his connection with Roman Reigns. But
I didn't even think
I'm
about
actually
that.
going to go with, even though he won't probably show up again until SummerSlam, I'm going to go with Roman Reigns because everyone's expecting him not to win. And Seth and CM Punk can continue, even though they've already had a feud. They're going to continue going on. So, like, whether they win or lose, their story, they keep doing what they're doing. They'll probably have a title match down the line, one of them or both of them. So, I'm going to go with Roman Reigns. Also, shenanigans at some point. Probably it'll be like a clean match, maybe, and then at the end, stuff happens. And I'm not talking about Heyman turning, just like kind of the stuff I mentioned, either Rock or old bloodline people or someone we haven't thought of yet, just doing something after the match or something.
Okay. And then night 2, Io Sky versus Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley, a triple threat match for the Women's World Championship. This one's actually pretty interesting. They're making Io look like a bitch because they're like shoving Io every time that she tries to get in one of their faces, and they're making Io look like the weak link. So I think they're going to go with the classic, Io, can she overcome the odds? And somehow she does. And Bianca Belair will probably suffer, I think, her first loss at WrestleMania because I think she's currently undefeated at WrestleMania right now. And that's my thoughts is I think that it will be Io. And Block, I'll go with you first this time.
The tough one. Because, I'd rather have Io win because it's been the focus on the other two. But, I'll go with Rhea.
Okay.
We'll go with that.
Sam?
I want Io to win it, genuinely do. But I think Bianca Belair is going to win it, and I think they're going to keep her streak alive. because they might want to focus on that in the future. And what better way to have a new streak, but with a female wrestler?
Yeah, have her go like the Undertaker.
Yeah,
Yep.
and she
All
can
right.
go. She can go for a long time, in my opinion.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cheeto.
I 100%. I was gonna bring that up. Zam keeps beating me to the punch. Great minds think alike. Yeah, I want Io to win. I think she's earned it. I think that she's been doing a great job. I think she's a great wrestler from what I've seen with her. Now, granted, I understand the Rhea Ripley Io Sky match, the rematch, that was a botch fest. I don't know what was going on that night, but every other match of theirs that I've seen has been good, like of those two individually and separate, or together and separate. I don't know what happened that night, but still, I want Io to go over. But I agree with Zam. I think they're going to keep, because they've been putting it out there. They've been saying, "Oh, Bianca Belair has never been beat at WrestleMania," and I think they are starting to turn that wheel for the whole streak thing, for like to carry on the Undertaker's legacy. And I'm all for it. Let a woman have the streak. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like I just don't end it the way that freaking WWE did. Now they said they planned it with Brock Lesnar, but I think that's a load of crap. I think it was an accidental win.
Yep. All right, and then a match that feels like it needs to be on Monday Night Raw. Sorry, not sorry. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Bayley and Lyra Valkyria for the women's tag team titles. I don't give a shit one way or the other. I really don't care who wins. I'm just going to go ahead and say Liv Morgan and Raquel retain, because they're trying to really build them up as a tag team. And Judgment Day, despite kind of falling off a little bit, they're still somewhat over. So I'm going to go ahead and go with them, and then I will kick it to Cheeto.
I agree with you. This match has not had enough build. It just got established in the past 2 weeks or something like that, maybe 3.
Yeah.
I do like Liv Morgan and Raquel. I do think they have a great dynamic. Them going up against, I don't even remember who are they facing again?
Bayley and Lyra Valkyria.
Yeah, I like Lyra Valkyria as the women's Intercontinental Champion. I think she's really good. But I feel like this should have been a women's Intercontinental title match. I think it should have been like, not a fatal 4-way, because we've already got an Intercontinental title fatal 4-way, but like maybe Raquel Rodriguez, or not Raquel. Well, no, we've already done that. So like maybe
Liv Morgan versus
Valkyria, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you're kind of downgrading Liv Morgan, but like Raquel versus Liv, or Raquel versus Valkyria, I don't think that would draw.
Yeah, just have them in each other's corner.
Yeah, or maybe just have another Bayley Valkyria match. But they've kind of already shot their load on all those matches.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? This is really their only avenue. But like, if I were to go back weeks and weeks and build it my way, I'd go for the Intercontinental. The only thing I could say is like maybe like do like an Intercontinental Fatal 4-way on night 1 for the women's Intercontinental title, and then a Intercontinental title Fatal 4-way for the men on night 2. Maybe do it that way. Be like, hey, we're doing Intercontinental Fatal 4-ways for the Intercontinental title. One on each night, one for women's, one for men's, or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But again, this one is just weird. Like I like the participants in the match. I think Bayley's really good too, but this is just kind of like, why? Like you just made a big deal out of this Intercontinental title, and now it's taking a backseat to the tag titles. Alexa Bliss, put freaking Alexa Bliss again for the Intercontinental.
Yeah, where is she?
Thank you. Yeah,
is she injured again? Is she injured again?
I don't know. She came back for the Rumble, and then it was like, bye.
No, she was in the
chamber. She was in the chamber.
Yeah, she came back for the Rumble,
and she had one match after that, and I haven't seen her since.
Yep.
Yeah. Alexa Bliss would have been a great one to bring out and put some. Even if she lost, like it would at least elevate that IC title. I think Alexa Bliss could have put a really good match out there for the IC title, because guess what? The IC title, even in the women's division, should be the workhorse title.
Yes, amen to that. All right, Zam.
Yeah, I'd rather they have the IC title up for grabs than the tag team championships. Personally, I would have made this a triple threat with Bayley, Valkyrie, and Liv Morgan. I'm a big fan of Liv Morgan now. I think she's gone leaps and bounds. She's a brilliant heel.
Yeah,
fantastic. And I think that would have been a better way of utilizing her, because just have Raquel Rodriguez in her corner in the triple threat. as that wild card element. That would have
And they
been a
can
much
still be
better
the
match.
tag champs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they can
Like,
still be the tag champs. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
that,
And then because like it's a new belt, regardless of them being women's champions. It's a new belt. It's a belt they can say, okay, finally, I've won this belt as well. So they've got that on their resume. I have no problem with that. And it would elevate that belt by having one of them two win it, Bailey or Liv Morgan win it. Imagine Liv Morgan as IC and women's champion. She'll never let it down. And that heelish persona, it'll go on forever. So, but yeah, who's gonna win it? I don't give a shit either. But I say the heels are gonna win it. I think the heels are gonna win it. Yeah.
All right, Block.
The heels are gonna win it. This was pretty thrown together. I think they had other plans and something happened, and here we are.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't got much to say. I think they'll try their best with what they got. For an interesting side note, I would like to see Liv Morgan versus Tiffy maybe next year or at some point in the next year or two as a match. I think that would be really cool.
That'd be good. All right, and then the match that Gary is so excited about, AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. It's his favorite match. He's looking very much forward to this, as he said in the comments. I think AJ will be putting over Logan Paul here because, let's be real, AJ has said that I'm out within the next couple of years. He wants to retire by the time he's 50. And AJ's at that point where he really doesn't need to win anymore. He can afford to put other talent over and still have great matches. And then Karrion Kross has been kind of fucking with AJ Styles, trying to get him to cross over to the dark side. I think Logan could still win, but then AJ snaps post-match and just goes crazy. And we'll see where they go with that. But I'm going to go ahead and kick it to Block.
I'm going to go with Logan. He's a great douche. And he's athletic. And for a guy that's only been wrestling, 2 years or whatever, he's really pretty good. And, yeah.
All right, Sam.
I think this is going to be the old high flyer versus the new high flyer sort of match, and which I'm actually looking forward to this one. I'm surprised Boss Man isn't, but that's how it is, I guess. I think this match will be will have some real amazing moments in it. I think maybe AJ, if he can, will try to roll back the clock in this particular match, and all of that. I don't think there'll be any moment where AJ goes crazy post-match because AJ is the face versus the heel. I can't imagine Logan Paul, with all the shenanigans he's done outside the ring, he'll never be a face inside the ring. He's better as a heel anyway. So I think AJ's going to go down on his sword on this one, and Logan Paul's going to win.
All right, Cheeto.
Yeah, unfortunately, I agree. I think Logan Paul's going to win. But I just want him to lose on principle. I want him to lose every single match. He's a piece of shit. And I'm just tired of him. You know what I mean? Like, as talented as you are, like, that's like saying, oh, I want Hogan to go over. Logan Paul has so much go away heat. It's not even funny. It's not even.
He surpassed X-Pac and X-Pac heat. That's saying something.
Yeah, like he's going. I'm pretty sure if we had a boo contest between Hulk Hogan and Logan Paul,
Logan's
Paul would probably still win, even though Hogan would still get plenty of boos nowadays.
Yeah, I think that'd be pretty fair.
But I'm pretty sure Logan Paul's going to go over, and unfortunately, I want AJ to win, but I don't think it's going to happen.
All right, so we all say the douche is going to win, and it's a sad day for all of us. Now, this one's going to be a tough one to call because we've got the Fatal 4-Way for the Intercontinental title, the Men's Intercontinental title. Braun Breaker versus Penta versus Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio. I think the only reason that they got Braun in this match is either he wins on domination or he loses because he doesn't take the pin and they're trying to protect him. I want to see Dominic Mysterio get his first singles title in WWE. I think it's time. That dude, the heat that he gets to this day, 2 years later, is the stuff of legend. That guy can never be a babyface. I don't care what people say. I'm going with Dominic Mysterio, and I will start with Cheeto this time.
Listen, I want Dominic to be like his father,
Eddie Guerrero.
Yep. And win the Intercontinental title and be one of the greatest heels of all time, like his mother. Oh no, wait, no, his mother's not his stepmom, Vicky Guerrero.
Yep.
But yeah, no,
excuse me.
Yeah, right. But I do. I want Dominic to go over here. I think it's about time for Dominic to win a singles belt. Fatal 4-Way is a great place because yes, you're right. They can protect Braun in that instance. He will probably either pin what'll probably happen is he will probably pin Finn Balor.
Yeah.
And it'll fracture the Judgment Day, and we're kind of done with the Judgment Day, which I'm of two minds about. I like the Judgment Day, but at the same time, they've kind of served their purpose. And
It's time.
like
Yeah.
the only reason why I want to hold it together is because I like seeing Carlito on my screen.
Yeah,
So,
Carlito.
If the Judgment Day breaks up, Carlito won't be around anymore, and you know it.
Yeah, and we're gonna miss the PlayStation 5. I mean, what the fuck, WWE? Come on now. But all right, so we've got 2 out of 4. All right, Block.
I guess I got 2 predictions. Penta's not going to eat the pinfall. And the other one would be, this could be match of the night. Like, there's so many interesting clashings of styles and whatnot. Like, I think they're all going to gel pretty well. I will go with Dominic winning. I want him to win, but I could see Braun retaining, I guess.
All right.
So, but I'll go with.
Okay, Sam.
Well, I actually never really thought about it until you mentioned it regarding Dominic Mysterio deserving the win, and what better way to get it than pinning Finn Balor of all people? That would be great. I also agree that this could be match of the night because there's so much in this match. When you have a fatal 4-way with these particular guys, there's going to be pace, there's going to be speed, acrobatics, power. It's all there. With these individuals, and there's going to be comical, cowardly moments as well with Dominic Mysterio as that chicken shit heel. I really don't know who can. This is actually a lot tougher. I think one person you can count out is Finn Balor.
Yeah, he's not winning this. There's no way.
Yeah, but then again, this is the thing where if he did win it, that would be great because he's the last person you expected him to win it. I can see Braun retaining actually, so I'm going to go with Braun Breaker.
All right, and then Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre in a Sin City Street Fight. This build has been all right. It goes back to last year's WrestleMania when Drew McIntyre got cashed in on by Damian Priest. So the story kind of writes itself. This is going to be a hard-hitting match. This ain't going to be your 5-star classic. These two, I just want them to go to war. I want them to fight it out. And I want Drew McIntyre to win this match. I think it's time that Drew gets a win. I love Damian. I wouldn't be mad if he won it, but Drew McIntyre is my pick, and I will go with Zam to start this one.
Actually, I think if McIntyre wins, it will be. I think I can think McIntyre might come out. Let me start again.
Yep.
I don't think there'll be a clean victory on this. I think somebody like maybe McIntyre might look strong, but he might end up making Damian Priest win because he does something to disqualify himself.
No, this is a street fight. This is a street fight.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this is a street fight. Yeah.
Then it's really hard to tell.
Mm-hmm.
It's really hard to tell. I'll go with Damian Priest. I want McIntyre to win this more than Priest, but McIntyre I thought is the type of guy to happily put people over as well.
Yeah.
So I would say that Priest is going to win this.
All right, Cheeto.
I agree. I want. I think. See, here's my thing. I think Drew McIntyre is going to win because technically Drew McIntyre won last year.
Yep.
He beat Seth Rollins, but then Damian Priest
came out and cashed it in. Yeah.
So Damian Priest technically beat Drew McIntyre last year at WrestleMania also. So I honestly feel like I think this is going to be Drew's year where, Drew, I don't know. I feel like I think Drew's going to get the win over Damian because last year Damian got the win technically over Drew, even though it was a cash in. But that's just me. I want Drew to win. I love Drew. I think it is a freaking shame that Drew McIntyre is not involved in the title picture somehow. I get it, but like Drew he deserves the world or WWE title. You know what I mean? Like, I cannot, he's a workhorse and he's great, but he's also great on the mic and he's great at fueling a feud.
Yep.
So it's I don't understand why.
It's also like this as well. Like, like you see with the triple threat match, which is the main event on night one, he needs to have that level of match if he's not fighting for the title, because there's only so many. There's only 2 titles, and there's a whole bunch of top tier guys. So they can't all fight for the belt. But if he's not fighting for the belt, he needs to have a match that is of a status of fighting for the belt. You know?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, Block.
Yeah, I love me some Drew. He's a workhorse, and I would say he's almost as good on the mic as any other of these guys like CM Punk and all these people that are raved about. Not saying anything about Damian Priest as far as bad. I like him.
He just doesn't have that
get too
superstar
behind him.
status that Drew McIntyre does, in my opinion. Like,
Yet. But
I'll go with you know what? I'll go with Damian Priest winning because Drew can bounce back a little easier than Damian Priest. I mean, either one will bounce back.
Yep.
I'll go with Damian
All
Priest.
right. And then the main event of the evening, ladies and gentlemen, the Crybaby versus blonde hair, blue eyes, America for the WWE Championship. And people ain't going to be happy about this one either way. I'm going to just say it like that. I don't see people being 100% happy with either outcome. I would think the bigger shocker would be Cody beating Cena. But since this is WWE and they're putting the emphasis on this is Cena's last year, they won't shut the fuck up about Cena winning his 17th. I don't want this to happen, but I think it's going to happen. I think Cena will be getting his 17th, and then he'll show up on Monday and then be like, hey, I told you all you people that bullied me. Cena's going to sound like he's on fucking estrogen, being like, all you people that bullied me said I couldn't win the world title, so now here I am with my World Heavyweight Championship in this bitch. And that's what's going to happen. So I'm going with John Cena, the estrogen girl, to win the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 41. All right, Block, I'll start with you.
This is going to be stretched out match. Like, I'm not going to say it's going to be bad or good, but they'll stretch it out. It's going to be like 35, 40 minutes. There's going to be some shenanigans. Lots of crossroads and FUs and yelling and woes and
Cena calling spots really loudly and shit.
Yeah. Oh goodness. So right now it's just a regular match, right? It's no DQ or anything
that we know of, because they did change the Stone Cold versus Rock stipulation right before the match happened. So
I don't know if Rock's gonna come out and say something or show an eyebrow. Or
is the Rock and
Travis
Scott.
Yeah, because they did say
Travis Scott. That rapper dude, right? Maybe that rapper dude will show up. I'll go with, because Cena's just so obvious. But maybe it's so obvious that we're gonna go. I'm gonna go with Cena because it's so obvious that I'm gonna go the opposite way. So I'm gonna go the opposite of the opposite way.
And have Cody go over. Okay, Zam.
I can't imagine. I mean, don't get me wrong. They've done it before, in 39, and they've done it before, I think, in 19. But with the heel winning. But then again, it is John Cena, and that makes things a little bit different. At the same time, I'll be honest with you. I think the feud's not been that great. It's been a terrible feud. John Cena's hardly been in the WWE, and he wasn't in the most recent episode of Raw. Now he could be on SmackDown tonight. And I'm banking on that, to tell you the truth, to really fuel their feud before Mania. But I think this 17th title stuff, people make a bigger deal of it than it should be. I mean, it's not like a round number, is it? So I'm gonna go with I think the person who's going to be day in, day out needs to have the world title, the WWE title. Who's going to be showing up at wrestling, not somebody. I mean, they've already got Logan Paul. They don't need another part timer. So I think Cody Rhodes is going to win.
All right, Cheeto.
I think John Cena needs to go over here only because Cody Rhodes' reign has not been as bad as people make it out to be, but it's not exactly been the best either, from what I've seen.
It's felt kind of flat. Yeah, it felt kind of
they
flat.
need to get that belt off of him. Cena's fresh on this heel turn, and Granted, it's not been a great heel turn. It's not been a great thing, but it's kind of like, do you want to die by decapitation or poisoning at this point? Like, you're gonna die, but so here you just got to pick the way you're gonna do it. So it's like with John Cena, it's like at least it's something different, you know. Like with Cody, it's like Cody's basically John Cena, like 15 years later.
Yeah.
And you know, I've said this many times before. I don't like these long freaking title reigns. I don't even care if like Cena takes the belt off him and Cody wins it back in a couple months or something like that. But like he's had the belt for a year, and really the only thing of anything he's done well is maybe his feud with Kevin Owens sometimes. You know, like he feuded with Kevin Owens for months and months, and it's just like God. And I like Kevin Owens, but
there's a match we forgot to mention.
Yes,
okay.
There is. It's okay. We'll talk about that afterwards. I was going to bring it up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Cena's got to go over. Not over as in like I don't think he needs to look strong here. I just think he needs to win. And the where's The Rock and Travis Scott? Like this whole time we've had this huge. Everyone's talking NWO level heel turn.
Who's the third man, brother? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like and it's been this. It's been Cena. That's it.
Yep.
Travis Scott nowhere to be seen. Not that I want him, but I'm just saying like this is what the WWE is committed to, and now it's just bullshit. It really is all bullshit.
I could see the WWE doing a dusty finish where it's like they make you think Cody wins, and then they're like, Rock comes out and he's like, "No, you didn't win, so we're going to restart the match," and Cena wins. It'll be a fuck finish. It'll be lame, but I think that's the route they're going to go. But okay. The one match that's not covered on the card, but we got to talk about, who's Randy Orton going to fight at WrestleMania? Because Kevin Owens is out with neck surgery right now. He's hurt. You know, thoughts and well wishes to him. Rumor is that it's going to be Randy Orton versus Nick Aldis, and I honestly would not have an issue with that.
I would want that because just if I could intervene, like
go ahead.
Nick Aldis has never wrestled in the WWE. Can you believe that?
Never.
Yeah, which is crazy considering he's the GM of SmackDown. And so that would be a really nice moment. He doesn't need to win this match, obviously, and it would be good for him to have a match so people know who WWE fans can see him in the main event having so when I say main event in like the WrestleMania having a match, and to have with someone like Randy Orton, it would and they are toe to toe, quite similar. So and he's 38 years old. He can, he's not over the hill. Nick Aldis. I really would love that to happen. Whether he's capable of having a match, because I know injury was one of the reasons why you don't see him wrestle. But I would love for that. I don't want Solo Sikoa.
No, I don't either.
I think they were testing the waters with that on last Friday night SmackDown, and I don't think it went over very well. So hopefully, I don't know. I think Randy Orton's going to come out and he's going to be like, "Oh, I have to have a match. I'm going to blah." I mean, unless they announce his match tonight, I think he's just going to come out and be like, "I'm not leaving this ring until I fight somebody at WrestleMania." And then, either Solo Sikoa, unfortunately, or Nick Aldis, or Manchester Black is one that they've kind of rumored that's coming back. I don't know. I don't know Manchester Black very well.
Aleister Black? Aleister Black. Yeah.
Yeah, somebody said about him possibly coming back and facing him. I don't know. I think that Stephanie McMahon should come out and RKO him.
Yeah, I think that too. Yeah.
Also, like, it's been a while since we had some sort of authority figure type feud, where somebody's going up against one of the bosses. For old time's sake, I wouldn't mind that, as well. That would be pretty good. And who better than somebody who considers himself to be a bit untouchable?
Like Triple H?
No, as in Nick Aldis being the boss, on SmackDown.
Okay. Unfortunately, I feel like I get why they would do it, but just like the build's not there, and I get why there's no build there, but it's just like maybe save that for next Mania or something like that. But they've kind of already teased it for this Mania with, what was it, on Monday or was it on last Friday?
It was last week when he RKO'd Nick Aldis, and he's
I think sorry, but it's not worth saving. Look, the moment is now. Take advantage of it. It's there. You can't. You know what's going to happen in next year. Let's just jump with it. It's a last minute thing. There is a bit of him RKOing Aldis the other day makes the feud available, capable. Do it. Just do it. It's better than Randy fighting Solo, where he's been there, done it. This would be a new opponent. It'd be fresh.
You know who I think he should face? Ken Anderson.
Kennedy. For those that don't get that reference,
he's gonna come out. He's like, Orton, I'm gonna drop you on your head again.
Yep. Here's the backstory. Here's the funny backstory to that. I was supposed to go to that Raw, and I'm still pissed. Fuck Stan Kroenke and fuck Vince McMahon, bastards. Because I was going to go to that Monday Night Raw. Yep.
Fuck them both. I hate them.
It was supposed to be right here in Denver, and I'm fucking mad I didn't get to go. But all right, Block. What do you think before we wrap this up?
Okay, so it's going to be Orton versus maybe Nick. So this will be a all right match. Sure, we'll end with like Randy winning, or Solo, kind of the same scenario. Or it might be Randy coming out just doing an open challenge, and it's somebody we haven't thought of yet. So it could be, I don't know, like the Spirit Squad, the Great Khali. But if it's an open challenge kind of thing,
Chris Benoit,
you know it's going to be a wash. If it's an open challenge and it's just some kind of random person, it'll probably be a squash, and Orton RKO's them as soon as the bell rings or something.
Yeah.
You know what? Because Nick Nemeth in TNA right now, like I would mark out if the Spirit Squad came out. And, like
I would too. Yep. Try to fuck with Randy Orton. That'd be the greatest.
Joe Henry. Joe Henry would be awesome. Oh my god! You know, like he comes out. You know, it's just that would be awesome. And you know, like just as a like,
is he the TNA champ
for a few?
Yes,
TNA champ. He came out for the Royal Rumble. Just come out for this match. That's it. Perfect. You don't need to build or anything. Just have a mysterious opponent, Joe Henry, or the fans.
The pop will be insane. Yeah, the pop alone will be insane.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. But I got Randy Orton winning regardless of who he faces. I think like what they're gonna do is like, if they're gonna have Nick Aldis wrestle, do it this Sunday. If not, they're gonna do the old Vince McMahon route where Nick Aldis slowly goes heel. I personally am done with the heel and babyface authority figures. I like the fact that they've been fucking neutral, and I hope they keep them that way. But I doubt that they will. But okay, before we go, what's y'all overall excitement level going into WrestleMania out of 10? As of like right now. Cheetah, I'll start. All right, Cheetah, I'll start with you. I'll go last.
I mean, a 5 out of 10. Like, I mean, as I said, I'm excited for certain matches. Just the builds just aren't there. You know, like, you know, so I mean, am I like super like emotionally charged for some of these rivalries? No. But like, am I excited to see some of these matches because the wrestlers are really good? Yes. So I would say a solid 5, maybe even 6, just because, as I said, there's some really good matches on this card. They just got to deliver. Okay.
Sam?
My excitement level out of 10 is a 6 for this as well. It is WrestleMania, so there's always your interest is always going to be piqued for that. And you know, with this particular pay-per-view that there's always going to be a sea change and all of these sort of things. So stuff is going to come out from this, which will make you want to watch Monday Night Raw the following night. So I'll give it a 6.
All right, Block.
I'll give it a 5.5. Night one's going to set the mood, so I'm just hoping whatever matches there are, even if they're short, they're like engaged. You get behind them in some way. You're, hey, that person won. That's cool. Like, it just sets the mood. And otherwise, night 2 is going to be a slog other than like 2 matches. Well, maybe 3 matches.
I'm going to go ahead and give it a 5. I think that this could be a better than expected WrestleMania. And here's a fun tidbit. This is the first WrestleMania with no Vince McMahon storylines whatsoever. This is all Triple H's booking. Yep. So, we don't have any Vince McMahon involvement this time with any of this. And overall, I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be an all right card. What I fear is going to happen is that night 1 will feel like WrestleMania, but night 2 will feel like a rush Monday Night Raw. This is the problem that I've had with these 2-night WrestleManias ever since they started doing this shit. But overall, we'll just see how it goes. And
I have to ask a question.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Do you think we'll see The Rock?
Yes, I do. He'll be in the main event, if nothing else. He'll show up at the very, very end of the shit and somehow fuck with Cody. And if they don't fucking do Rock Roman next year at WrestleMania, then what the fuck are we doing here? That's kind of what I'm wondering.
I'm tired of the Rock Roman thing. I'm tired of I don't mind the Rock being like that, the final boss, like, but I don't need like the Rock in another match. Even though he can still go, I don't need it. You know what I mean? Like and Roman Reigns I think he just I don't think he should ever hold the world title again, because honestly, he's not his medical his medical complications are like he just doesn't, he can't be a full timer. And I respect the fact that he can't be a full timer, but don't put the belt on him. You know what I mean? Like,
look, if I could just add to what Cheeto said for a start, like regarding Rock, he had a great match at 40. That's because he was part of an ensemble of other wrestlers, so he didn't have to do all the work and or 50% of the work himself. You know, when you've got Rollins, Rhodes, and Reigns alongside you, you're going to look fantastic. If he was like one half of a singles match, it might not come out that great at his age. So I do have an issue with that. Regarding Rock and Roman, when the whole Samoan family thing was a bit of a bigger deal, yeah, I wouldn't mind Rock and Roman then. But now everyone's fractured and gone their own fucking way and shit like that. It feels very pointless now. This, like, Roman's the tribal chief of what? Of Paul Heyman. I mean, like, there's no fucking tribe. So for Roman and The Rock to go at it to be the head of the fucking table,
why?
It feels pointless now. It feels pointless now.
I mean, WrestleMania 39 probably would have been the best point, maybe, to do the Rock Roman thing, or even 40. But like 40, you had to have Cody. Like,
the internet was gonna riot if they didn't get Cody. That's how bad it was. But now it's like, if we're going to see The Rock, this better fucking lead to something, because I don't want Rock showing up just being like, hey, I'm the final boss, and then he gets his fucking comeuppance or whatever the fuck. I'm like, they better do something with The Rock if they're going to bring him back. That's all I got to really say about that.
And he's not getting any younger as well.
No.
It'll be in his mid-50s before you fucking know it. And it'll be more and more difficult for him to have a match. And it's hard enough for him to probably have a match in a tag team. No way, in my opinion, should Rock be fighting on his own. He should be in a triple threat match or a quadruple match. Sorry, a fatal four-way if he does fight it as a singles competitor. But other than that, he should be in tag matches. But he shouldn't be in a one-on-one, because the guy, honestly, he can't deliver anymore.
No, he was even gassed at 28 when he fought Cena.
Yeah.
Is he in the Hall of Fame yet?
No, Rock's not in the Hall of Fame yet.
I didn't think so. That'll probably be next year, because I mean,
he'll go in next year. And
it matches with Cena are rubbish. Both of them, they're not memorable at all.
All right,
because you just got two guys doing the same 5 moves for like 30 minutes.
Cena had to carry him, which is difficult.
Yeah. All right. Does anybody else have anything to add before we take this home?
Block.
Yeah, Rock will show up in his pajamas. You know what I don't get? He introduced that title. He introduced that title, and I don't get it.
The People's Championship.
So and he kept talking to. One day he's talking to Cody, be like, "I'm gonna see you one day. I'm gonna take that from you." And then the next time he's buddies with them, and then after that he's like, "I'm gonna take your soul. You better."
Here's my thing about The Rock, and I know I'm drawing this out a little bit, but this is what I've seen the whole time, is because with The Rock, it's like he doesn't check with anybody before he does stupid shit. So he comes in, he wrecks shit, and then creative's like, what
the fuck do we do? What do we do here? This is worse than when we had Russo, because at least with Russo, there was a filter there. Vince was there, and he was like, dude, this shit sucks. This doesn't work. But
I'm like, Rock just goes out there and says whatever the hell he wants, and then like creative's just like, what do we do with it? Do you want his soul? Like, what? I guess we should just turn Cena heel, apparently.
He came back on Bad Blood, remember? He shows up. Nothing has happened.
Does this. This, and then just like leaves. And that's
nothing fucking happened at all until Elimination Chamber. And even then, it being like the pay-per-view before Mania, which leads up to Mania, it's still like, where the fuck are you now, Rock? You have not been seen at all.
That's why this big heel turn has been. I knew this was going to happen, but it's like everyone's like, "Oh, Cena turn heel." Cena's a part-timer. Rock's even more of a part-timer, and Travis Scott is
Travis Scott. Yeah, Travis Scott's Travis Scott. Yeah,
I don't want to hear that fucker's name. You know what I mean? All right, get rid of him. Put Logan Paul there.
I like, honestly, like that is a great place for Logan Paul. It really is, because Travis Scott's like, at least with the NWO, you had 3 wrestlers. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like 3 seasoned wrestlers who knew how to draw heat.
Yeah.
Travis Scott's like, I'm just gonna like bash people's eyeballs in.
Yeah. Cena
Right.
needs new music. Yeah, you're probably not going to get that yet, Garrett, because Cena's gimmick is like, you're going to get nothing and fucking like it. That's basically been his heel run. You're going to get nothing and you're going to like it.
But you saw when they were on the European tour, they still wanted to sell those fucking T-shirts.
Shirts, yeah.
You know what I mean? All those shirts. Yeah, I'm in the Belgium camp. I'm now in Italy and shit like that. I'm in the UK now. All the shirts they wanted to fucking sell. So,
I guarantee you, when Cena wins on Sunday, he's coming out with a championship shirt Monday. That's the only reason Cena's going to win this match.
Oh God.
So actually, go piggybacking off what I said earlier about like Rock. So I bet you the whole like soul thing happened, and like that's what creative was. They're like, what do we do here? We're not turning Cody like heel, so let's just turn John. Like I bet you it was going to be a face versus face match, and then all of a sudden they're like, Rock pulled his soul shit, and they're just like, I guess we could turn Cena heel. But like everything they've like planned out other than that has been like face Cena. That's why like they have all the new shirts. That's why they have, because like, oh yeah, we're gonna do gangbusters and sell every single week all these different shirts, and it's like, it's just been so bad. Like I think really The Rock has really like fucked this over so bad.
No, but it's how they book Cena, because when The Rock when Rock was getting a negative reaction, they turned him heel, and my God, The Rock was just as good as a heel as he is better as a heel than he is as a baby face, because he embraces it and he doesn't back down, and he doesn't turn himself into a bitch either.
Because
John Cena has done.
Yeah, because Cena sounds like that 12-year-old that's on estrogen. Like, oh my God, like John broke up with me. Like, what the fuck? And that's what he sounds like.
Hulk Hogan was another one as well. Like when he turned heel, he threw it back in their faces. And still oozed confidence and said, "I'm in fucking charge here." You know, he wasn't fucking crying like he broke up with his girlfriend, which is what fucking John Cena's doing. Yeah. You know, with the like, own it, Cena, embrace the hate, so to speak. You know, as Kane once said, embrace the fucking hate. You know, and go with it and throw it back in their faces and make people say, "Yeah, that's why I wanted John Cena to turn heel, because he's so good at fucking giving it as well." You know, like he's throwing it in our faces, insulting us, humiliating us, and that's what you want from a performer like Cena as a heel, you know. And we're not getting it. You know, you'll get it from someone like The Rock. We're not getting it from him. You know what I mean?
All you're gonna see on Monday when Cena comes out is he'll do that cheesy ass troll grin that he does when he's like, and that's fucking it. That's all he'll do. He'll be like, "I got this, bitch," and that's it. And then
and I mean, if he does win the title, like he's not going to defend it very often. Like, I mean, let's be real. Like his next defense will be maybe SummerSlam.
Yeah, and then Cody will get it back, and then and then the internet's going to be like, all right, fuck, we get it with Cody, and then they're going to want that new guy, because this is how it always is. They always want that new guy. They always want somebody different. Like Cody got his moment. Okay, cool, but now what else you got?
I think you guys are. I think you guys are too harsh on Cody. I think he. I think personally, I think he's still very over with the fans. You just hear them with the way.
Yeah, he's over. He's over. He's over. But I'm talking on behalf of the internet. Like the internet is going to always be fucking critical because they always want that new guy.
Yeah, but always they don't give a fuck about the internet. You know, like they give a fuck about the people who are coming there and the reactions that they're getting and stuff like that. And that's what matters the most. You know, like not like some fucking over the hill fucker who thinks they know everything, which is basically us lot. You know what I mean? And just in my opinion, as long as he's still getting pops from the fans, they're going to stick with him. You know, if he's still selling shirts, they're still singing this song, they're going to stick with him and keep yeah.
And no bones about it, Zam. You are God.
Yeah.
Sorry, a wrestling fan put Spinnernet as the third man, which Spinnernet is just an old wrestling YouTuber that I don't even know if anyone remembers him except for us. Anyway, no, but like, God damn it, Block. Now I don't even remember where I was going with that.
You were gonna say something like Cody, you know, he's still over and shit. But
so the same people that are sitting there singing his like song in the arenas and stuff like that, they're the ones going home typing, "Oh my God, Cody Rhodes' reign has just been so horrible. Oh my God." But at the show they're like, Whoa!
That was perfect.
You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that's exactly how like, and I don't blame them for being like excited and the live audience and everything like that. But don't be the keyboard dumbass. Like, you
Warrior.
know,
Yeah.
yeah, like I mean, if you like a guy, like you don't have to go on your keyboard commando and shit on him. Like, I'm not being critical of Cody. I've been okay with Cody's title reign. I just think it's been too long.
Yeah.
I'm not sad that he won the title. I just think he's had it for too long. And even if he would have lost it to Kevin Owens and then Cody would have won it back after a while or something, like, you know, it still would have kept it fresh. But Cody won every single match that those two had, and it's like it wasn't fresh.
Yeah. Cody basically pulled John Cena, and that's why people are like, okay, we get it. Fuck.
Yeah.
Lose every once in a while.
I
Okay,
think
Block,
it would
go
have
ahead.
been great if Kevin would have won it, like what was it, War Games where they fought or something
Yeah.
like that, and then
Yep.
and then Cody would have won it back at the Rumble. Like I think
Yeah.
that would have been really good.
Yep. Okay, Block, go ahead.
I was just going to say I have to change my prediction for the last match. It's going to be a double turn. Cena's going to be not a heel or whatever he is now. He's not going to be that. And Cody's going to turn heel. He's going to go on a dinner date with The Rock or sell his soul or whatever is going on there. And we can finally have the first ever African-American world champion in WWE.
Yeah, because Cody did end racism. I mean, he did say that.
Oh yeah,
was
he
like,
did.
Yeah, he did. That's one of the things that he'll never get to live down in AEW. He's like, I'm having a black baby, and yay, I ended racism and all that bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah, for me as well, like they're not going to make the mistake they did with Austin, where he's so over as a fucking baby face, and then they tried to turn him heel after WrestleMania 17,
Yeah.
which was one of the most stupidest fucking things. You never turn somebody heel
When they're hot.
when they're hot as a baby face. It makes no fucking sense. If
No,
the
they
crowd's not, sorry, go on.
No, I was just gonna say, like, they did it perfectly with Hogan. Hogan was at that stale point where everybody was like, they were kind of done with Hulkamania, and they did that turn at the right moment. Where he reinvigorated the whole Hulk Hogan persona to Hollywood Hogan, and everybody just ate it up.
And Roman Reigns, they're trying to keep him as a face for as long as they could under Vince McMahon's orders, forcing that face to Roman Reigns down our throat. And until they finally made him heel, did the fucking fans accept him, as a heel? Charlotte Flair as a heel, The Rock as a heel. If they're gonna boo you, then fucking be a heel, And with John Cena, they kept booing him for years, and they never turned him fucking heel, which was incredible. They had chance to turn him heel for a long time. And now at the very end, when his career is pretty much over, they fucking do it. It's just like I really felt like the moment had passed personally.
Yeah, if they would have did it in 2012, that would have been the perfect time to have Cena be, Superman heel and be like, you people bullied me, because that was the time to cut that promo. But now, it's too little, too late. What are you gonna do? All right. Does anyone else have anything to add before I take us home?
Well, no, just tonight is the Friday night on SmackDown. I think worth watching. Obviously, Hall of Fame
and the Hall of Fame. I'm not staying up to watch the fucking Hall of Fame. I'm like, nope, because that's like 10 o'clock my time.
That starts at 1 o'clock.
Yeah, it's going to be fucking late. Yeah, it's going to be late.
Somebody said that. I'm like, why?
Yeah, because the talent have to. Yeah, go ahead.
And now WrestleMania is 2 nights. It would usually be on the Saturday. But now it's 2 nights. It has to go straight after SmackDown on Friday, And I guess with time zones and stuff like that, it means it's 1 o'clock in the morning for you guys. And it can't be straight after. They have to. I think they do it in the same arena as SmackDown.
No. They've had to go to a different hotel venue for the Hall of Fame tonight.
Oh, they're doing it in Vegas, aren't they? In the hotel.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so they're gonna like these wrestlers themselves. After they finish rolling around in their sweat, they're gonna have to fucking all shower up and get changed and go elsewhere.
Yeah,
we're at SmackDown tonight. It's obviously in Vegas.
They're not letting fans in, are they? Because the fans always ruin the Hall of Fame chanting.
Thank you. Thank you,
Yeah.
God. I hope they don't.
Fuck the fans. Nobody likes the fans.
I don't. Yeah, fuck them all. I hate them.
I just wonder if we're ever going to get another Bret Hart moment, because for me that was like, if you ever wanted to sign your own death warrant,
attack Bret Hart.
Attack Bret Hart, surrounded by some of the most incredibly physically strongest men possible. They're
Yep.
gonna, and wrestlers, they have you, even the ones who don't like each other, they'll have your fucking back
Yep.
when it comes to a fan running. And on this particular occasion, it's a fucking legend of like Bret Hart, one of the most recognizable names in the industry. Yeah, that guy was dead. I'm surprised he's still
Yep.
breathing.
And I guarantee tonight that most of the Hall of Fame speeches, except for Triple H, because he's God, is going to go at least 5 minutes. Like everybody gets 5 minutes, but Triple H will be like, "Dude, I'm easily getting 45 minutes to speak." And
Yeah,
Lex
but
Luger-
Kenny, I
Lex-
mean, but that's the same for all of them. Taker had a ton
Yep.
of time, like you
Yep.
know, like
Lex Luger deserves a chunk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Seriously.
I'm surprised he
deserves-
wasn't the main one.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that Luger wasn't one. I mean, maybe he was originally supposed to be the main like inductee this year, and like that's when they decided to do Triple H. But
Yeah.
Well, the only reason Lex Luger is taking this long, by the way, for him to be in the Hall of Fame, but they really didn't let the Elizabeth drug shit die down.
Nope.
They really need to let it die down, before they could finally induct him because it was just too recent.
And here's the crazy thing. I don't even blame Lex for that because Liz was already on drugs anyway when she died. She was already, unfortunately making a mess of herself, which is unfortunate. But, I don't blame Luger for that. Some people do, but I'm not one of them.
I'll be honest with you. I don't know the ins and outs of it, but hearing him on that 991 call or whatever, I don't think it vindicated him or it made him guilty or anything like that. But it just didn't help matters.
Yeah.
So that I'm just saying, I think they really wanted a lot of time to pass before they finally inducted him because he always had that stain of Elizabeth on him, regardless who guilty or innocent. You know what I mean?
Yep. And before we wrap this up, I kind of have to go on a little tangent. WWE, okay, no disrespect to the natural disasters, but demolition. That is who we want to be in the fucking tag team part of the Hall of Fame. While they're still alive, mind you. Please do it. Put Axe and Smash in the Hall of Fame. Damn it. What is so hard to understand
agree
about that?
I agree. All three of them as well. I think Crush should go in there as well.
He should.
As part of Demolition too. And look, but at the same time, look, I don't think you should have a go at the natural disaster. Personally, I think Earthquake needs to go in there on his own.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think Typhoon, aka Tugboat, for being the journeyman wrestler he is, and being that Star Wars guy. What was his name again?
Shockmaster's one that needs to go in there by his fucking self. I don't care what anyone says. Shockmaster deserves his own Hall of Fame induction.
So both of those guys individually and as a collective need to. For me, Earthquake, I look at him more as a singles wrestler than a tag team guy. I'm actually shocked that he's not in there as a singles guy. He should be the John Totera. But yeah, regardless of them two, Demolition for sure.
Yep. All right. Yeah. So if no one else has anything to add, I'm going to go ahead and take us home.
Take us home.
All right. Well, I'd like to thank my co-hosts Zam, Block, and Cheeto for joining me. I am DOZ101. We are Nerdtube, the greatest YouTube channel that you've sort of heard of. And we will be back with Last of Us next week. We might be back with a WrestleMania review. And anybody else got anything to plug before we wrap?
I thought we were doing watch-alongs this weekend.
I thought we were.
That's what I said. I thought we were. Okay.
Yeah. But
just watch your space.
Yeah. All right. But I'd like to thank you guys for joining me and thank all of you for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and we are out.